So this is going to assist you on assignment 5, which is score, right? Calculate score. Let's say score, average scores calculator, AVG. I'll be finding the average here. Let's look at the math logic is pretty much similar, but this is the question, right? Find wages average of your test score. Pretty much your overall score, right, based on the wages, right? Wages average, GPA, something like that, right? Grade point average. So it's a little bit different, right? It's not like average of the number, it's like based on the wages, right? Just like same way that how you're going to know how you're getting A, B, C, D of this class, right? We all know how to calculate that, don't we? I mean, do I need to review the basic math first? How to calculate that? We all good, right? Yes? Yes. Okay. Let's say, for example, I'm going to use Excel to show you how to calculate the score. So I have student name, Taban, and this student has all the assignments score, maybe 300 points, and midterm exam 90 points, right? Final project could be 100 points. Final exam, right? Could be 100. Wow. Let's say 78 first. So this is the score, and this is the wage. Now, we said this is how many percent? 40, 20. So they'll add up to 100%, right? Now, assignments. Actually, assignment is out of, but there are 500, right? 5 assignments, right? So you need to make sure you do this, right? 5, right? Right, because average, right? Of 5 assignments, correct? So that's the simple math average, right? You add all the score, that's assignment 2, right? For each assignment, then you add to 300 and divide by 5, you get average score of 5 assignments, right? Then you use that to multiply. So what do you multiply? Score to wage, right? Which is B3 times, B3 pretty much is like the score 60 times the wage, right? So that should be your out of 100 here. 24 points, right? And I do the same, this time this, this time this, this time this, right? Which in the Excel you can just drag it, it's going to do for you. When you multiply this, this is your average, yeah, the grade average score, right? Based on it. Then you add your all together. Then you get C for this class. 77.6. Make sense? That's how we calculate the grade, right? Now we know that. So that's how you calculate. Then you know that if you feel like you have to work hard and get 100 points on array assignment 5, then you get 400. That's going to make you B. Look. Right? Now you know that you don't want to miss this assignment. And make sure your final project 100%. And at least your final 7 to 8. Right? So if you feel like, oh, I'm almost A, maybe I should not miss that assignment. Ooh, you get an A. Assignments is important, right? Even you have 7 to 8 on here. Okay? So that's because it's reflect on your grade average. So this is what we try to do with this program. So this is the logic. Now how would you implement it? We need to create a user interface looks just like that. Like a grid chart like that. To let user play around with the score. 80, it should update like that, just like that. If I play around with the score, it's going to update just like that. But we're not using Excel, we're going to write a program in Java to do this. Make sense? So you can play around with your wage to change that, right? Okay? Like waging is also very important. Like if I put a wage on assignment just like 10%, you see, even you get 100% of that, it still make you fail the class with D, I mean, right? That one. Because waging is so low, right? But of course, when you wage, you're supposed to total them to 100s, right? This one I didn't put into 200 yet. All right, so let's put this back. Any other question on how to calculate this score? Now we understand the logic. This is the part that for your final project I asked you to put the logic, remember? Like how would you do this, do that, do those? This is it, right? The logic, how to calculate the score on your pseudocode, right? Now, we're going to write an application now. And the question says you need to decide GUI and create a class name at score GUI, right? So that's the easy one. Everybody can do that part. And you need to create another class name. It's asked you to create another class to test the program, right? Create a main method to test the class, to test another class. So let me give the name of that then we understand. Create a main method, create another class, right? A new class, or we call it driver class, with a main method to test. To test which class? Score GUI class here, right? Again, I create a score GUI and make it in a step, make it easy for you. Use JFrame, so come back to use extends, right? It's already tell you extend JFrame. That's how you use JFrame, correct? And you need to import to use. Okay. So what's the next step? Use JButton. Implement ActionListener. Okay. So let's create this first. This should go first. Implement ActionListener. I mean, it doesn't matter actually. When you use JButton, you're supposed to implement ActionListener. And you need to use layout. It's actually this sequence just doesn't matter. So let me just do like that. Now, come back to your Eclipse. So you said implements ActionListener, right? That's what I say on the instruction, right? So when you implement ActionListener, TEN listener. To make the button has an action that you can click. That's for the action listener. Then you can click the buttons to perform calculations. All right, so we need a JButton, right? So let's say JBT. That's abbreviation for JButtons. Say calculate, right? Equals to new JButton. Just need to import again JButton, right? Now, when you implement ActionListener, you are required to implement a class to perform the action. Okay. I mean, implement a method and yeah. So you can just add an implemented method like there, which is the action performed methods. Okay. And I like to use E here. Action events. E stands for event. And then you can just implement anything just as inside there. A graphic user interface look like this. I'm going to say this is a student name, right? So you can have the JLabel, JTextfield, right? Correct? And this is label, right? Label, right? So all this should be, let's put a style. This should be JTextfield, all the greens, right? And this should be the labels, right? Make sense? Okay? I just used Excel to help on a simple design at this point from my application. So now that means we need to have JTextfield, JLabel. Okay. So you need JTextfield and JLabel. So how do we do that? Same, right? JText. How many text field? We can use an array now, right? It asks you to use an array, right? Text field. And we said we use square brackets to represent an array, right? Okay. I'm going to say JT